Now let's head up a couple of states, right? Through Tennessee, up through Kentucky, to the great state of Indiana. Notre Dame welcomed Texas A&M, the Aggies, to Notre Dame Stadium on a 7:30 kickoff on Saturday night. And I was there. It was a fantastic environment. I want to shout out the Texas A&M fans because I don't know that I've seen a Notre Dame home game have that many opposing fans in a long time. It was there. I mean, you could hear the gigums, the yell leaders. You could hear them. They were active. So shout out to the Texas A&M fans for making the trip up to South Bend. I guess they're lucky too because it's not deathly cold yet. So that's a positive for them. But what a game! Two of my favorite coaches in the country, and Mike Elko and Marcus Freeman, in a week 3 game. Notre Dame coming off a bye week. Texas A&M had some juice, I think, and this was just an offensive battle. Nonstop offense, literally from the jump. First half, I think it was over 40 points scored, definitely over 40 points scored, and I'm over 80 at the end of the game. I want to start with Texas A&M though, because first of all, I want to note Texas A&M's Bryce Anderson had a scary injury where he hit the deck and he seemed limp right when he hit it and was carried out onto the stretcher and driven off the field. But he did give a thumbs up of encouragement, which was good to see, because I was worried about him. It was a long wait until he got off the field. So I'm hoping, I don't know any updates right now, but I'm hoping that he is healthy and will be okay after what was a pretty scary hit. So prayers up to Bryce Anderson. Just a scary situation. But the last time, A&M beat a top 10 team out of conference was in 1979. This was a win that Texas A&M needed. It's a win that Mike Elko, I think, needed. And it's a program confidence build, right? Like, that's a game Texas A&M in previous years under different coaching regimes would not have won. That's the difference with Mike Elko. He brings another element. And this time it was between two main guys, right? Marcel Reed and Mario Craver. Over 180 yards in the first half from Craver, had 7 receptions, 207 yards, and a touchdown. Marcel Reed was nonstop, averaged 21.2 yards per completion, which I think was next to impossible if you wanted to do that against Notre Dame over the last couple of years. But the Aggies did it all, and they did it at will. A&M won the game on the outside, which is exactly what Mike Elko said they needed to do heading into this one. And for the backup tight end who caught that game-winning pass in the corner of the end zone, what a play, what a catch, and what a drive.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good game. You mentioned about how like A&M needed this win, and that's not sad, right? Shout out, and also you shouted out A&M because traveling well. A&M fans, they're a great fan base. They have hope right now. When A&M fans have hope, that means they can have false hope at the same time. But that is a great thing for the fans in College Station because they're a great fan base. They're rowdy, they're loud, and they travel well. And they're a great fan base. So yeah, shout out them. But for A&M, yes, this one's monumental, right? You mentioned 1979, but this is more of like a Notre Dame head scratcher, right? Like, because it's like, Marcel, you let Marcel Reed throw over 360 on you, and Marcel Reed, like, as good, he had his really high moments. His QBR was still below average. It was below an 80. He went only 17 for 37. Like, his completion percentage was not high, right?
And he
like
had open looks that he missed. Like, they had 3 touchdowns they left on the board.
Yeah, and you could tell he was they knew they don't trust his arm throwing the ball deep. They throw a lot of intermediate short passes with him, but which was great for them because Mario Craver was making Notre Dame secondary look like a fool after the catch, which is great. But this game really is like, I don't know, Notre Dame fans, head scratcher, shake your head, because you guys couldn't afford to lose this game. Obviously, your chances to make the college football playoff now, I think, dropped today, and they're down to 5.9%. You don't play another ranked team on the schedule. You're going to need things to really go your way, and you're really going to have to play your schedule amazingly and win a lot of games by a lot of points to really boost your resume in that way. Heartbreak in South Bend. You thought, coming off a bye week, that team would be ready. That defense would play a lot better. I don't know what Chris Ash and I don't know what Marcus Freeman are sitting there doing in defensive meetings, but for two defensive-minded guys that have a lot of experience, I don't know what they're really doing. But I did want to say I'd be reminiscent not to mention it, and a lot of officials missed a lot of calls for both games. It was an SEC crew. You cannot miss that holding call up the middle on game-changing play, 4th and goal. Time running out would have also been a 10-second runoff if the flag was called. So they would have been left with one play, 10 more yards out. I think it would have had a 10-second runoff. I think it is. When it's under 2 minutes and there's a flag, it includes on the offense, it is a 10-second runoff. So it's like you got to call that holding because he has a free tackle right on Marcel Reed if he doesn't get tackled. It's like, yeah, that's the most obvious holding I've ever seen. We've got to get that figured out. I don't know. I think I've always said I think referees should also have press conferences after games because I feel like they should have to answer to why they didn't call holding there. I don't know how you missed that blatant of a hold. And you know, but if you're Notre Dame at the same point, you can't be like, we lost that game because of that hold. That's not why you lost that game. You lost that game because your defense looked like garbanzo beans. You lost that game like for a multitude of reasons, not just that. Obviously, it is easy to point out that play and be like, that's why we lost. That's not why you lost. You lost because you gave up 488 total yards, right? You lost because I don't really – I box score watch this game and I look at it. It doesn't make like sense to me. Like A&M was 4 for 11 on third down. Like Notre Dame was 7 for 15. Like I don't know really. Like the turnover battle was even. A&M had way more penalties. Like this is a game that A&M probably shouldn't have won, and they still went in there and found a way to win. That's just really gritty. This is an A&M team that I had ranked in my preseason rankings at like 15 to start the year. People were like, "What are you doing, TND? You don't know ball." And I was like, dude, they return a lot of starters, and I love Mike Elko. Mike Elko's a damn good coach. He knows what he's doing. For Notre Dame, I mean, head-scratching game. Le'Veon Moss looked better than Jeremiah Love, by the way. I think I'm going to say that. Le'Veon Moss, really good back. Really good that he's healthy for them and back playing really, really, really good football.
I know you said you box score watch this game. If you want the real breakdown, I'll give it to you right now. Notre Dame, defenseless. Start with the offense. They were fine. -2, really basic mistakes on the snap before the half ended. CJ Carr clapped out of frustration. Ball was snapped on 4th down. Texas A&M gets the ball, gets a chance at a field goal. And somebody was at the grotto talking to Touchdown Jesus, praying that A&M didn't score. Luckily, that didn't happen. Somewhere, John Gruden is like saying, I told you so about the clap cadences. I mean, sheesh. And then 2, Tyler Buckner obviously bobbles the snap on the hold, throws the ball in the end zone to nobody, misses out on the extra point that scoreboard-wise technically costs the Irish the game, right? They go up 40-34. A&M scores 41-40. Could have been a tie game if they made the field goal. Those are the 2 plays on offense. Jadarian Price, I thought he was the best running back on the field, the Notre Dame backup. The most efficient runner for A&M or Notre Dame. 5.7 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. As much as the Fighting Irish, I thought, needed to get Jeremiah Love involved, like I was screaming at my TV for, like, get this guy the ball, right? Like in the Miami game, it was like they didn't even acknowledge that the guy was a star and on the roster. As much as they needed to get involved, and they did by the end, right? Price, I thought, was super vital. Jeremiah Love, Price, 39 total touches together, 215 yards, 4 touchdowns. Big day on the ground for Notre Dame. However, losing with that output from those 2 players can't happen. CJ Carr, I thought, was promising, right? 20 for 32 with 293 and 2 scores. It's promising. He's a freshman. You got to acknowledge that that's a pretty good game from that kid. Defense. Notre Dame defense. Wow. I have not seen a Notre Dame defense struggle that bad since 2013 national championship game against Alabama. It was bad. And defenseless is the word I'm going to put with it because it felt like they couldn't do right all game. And I think Irish fans, as I've seen online, really, really miss Al Golden. Al Golden never allowed 40-plus points during his 3 years at Notre Dame. Now let's talk about defensive coordinator Chris Ash. You brought it up. And I want to bring up some of this too because when he was hired, I noted a couple of things, right? At Arkansas, his team was the 3rd worst defense in the SEC in 2013, allowed 30 points per game. At Texas, led a Horns defense to the 4th worst in the defense in the Big 12, 27 points allowed in 2020. Head coach at Rutgers, he was 8-32. Ohio State in 2014, he won a national championship, which is fantastic. As the co-defensive coordinator, and the other co-defensive coordinator was Luke Fickell, who's now the head coach at Wisconsin. Notre Dame's defense is currently allowing 32.5 points per game. That rarely happens for a South Bend defense. And realistically, Notre Dame is 5 points away from being a top 5 team in the country, right? Miami, couple of points. A&M is 1 point. Simple mistakes. I think they got to get it figured out. And I know you said it's a tough road ahead, and it certainly is, but I don't think it's over for Notre Dame. I know there was there was certainly fans leaving the stadium, and you get a kick out of this, some of the stuff that they were saying. It's over. I'm never coming back to a game. The typical sad fan stuff, right?
I
Like the stuff you
I don't want
expect.
to say I don't want to tell you that it's over because I'm breaking your little Notre Dame heart, but like
No, I'm coming at this
I'm
completely
saying
straight
the
up, right? Like,
season
okay, I want you to play
my
the
reason
football guess this team. You ready? Who lost a close game on the road to a good opponent, lost a heartbreaker at home, finished 10-2, didn't play a conference championship, made the playoff, and won the Natty?
Yeah, it's just hard to reward teams that don't play in a conference championship. Right now, your hope is that USC stays ranked
Ohio
and you
State
guys.
did it last year.
I think the pass really hard. There's a reason why the odds are low, but you guys need to shake out stuff to shake out your way. One thing that didn't shake out your way was Pitt lost. You guys would have liked
Yep.
if Pitt could have
The
stayed
hardest
winning
game
and
is
maybe.
Arkansas, and I don't think
Yeah,
that's
Arkansas.
without a doubt.
Arkansas is going to be a good game. That's on the
If they
road
lose
too
that,
at
it's
Arkansas.
over.
Yeah, it's over. You can't lose to USC. And who knows? Maybe Navy will be ranked. You know, Blake Horvath. I
Yeah,
don't know what they're really up to this year so far. They should be 3-0. They are 3-0. So maybe Navy will be cooking. They were ranked last year when y'all played them. So maybe you'll get some. You
yeah,
need some help.
yeah.
You need the teams that you have left remaining on the schedule to
To
be
do good.
good, because the better they do, the more your schedule boosts. And yeah, I think right now is one of those times where Notre Dame not being in a conference hurts them. Being independent is great. They get a lot of money from NBC. That contract's amazing. This is where it's like, hey, being in a conference would really help because you go, undefeated in your conference, and then you go make the conference championship. You win that game, you're automatically in. So yeah.
And I agree, and I think they're going to be hard pressed to do it because honestly, I think that Arkansas game might be one that they drop realistically. First time any Notre Dame football head coach in history, meaning Marcus Freeman, has started 2 seasons under the helm as head coach 0-2. I think that was an interesting stat I didn't expect, but no, I'm with you, and I think it'll be very, very difficult for Notre Dame to get in that playoff picture. I don't know that I see it necessarily because I think they're a team that goes 9-3 or 8-4 and makes a bowl game. I don't think they're a playoff team where there is Irish fans that have that hope.
One thing I want to say before we move on to the next game. Did not know Tyler Booster still played football. I swear he's been playing football for like 7 damn years now. Way to pull Tony Romo, dude. But also don't send hate his way, dude. They didn't lose the game just because that guy. Okay, blame your defense. I know I've been seeing him get so much hate on social media, and I hate that. Did not know he still played football. Thought he stopped playing football and played blacks now. I guess I don't know ball enough. But yeah, don't be going to his social. Just like I said to the Tennessee kicker, there's no point. And just spreading unnecessary hate. Choose love. There's enough people hating in the world. Don't be the hater that they know. Okay, like these athletes, I don't think you guys understand. Like they know when they mess up more than you'll ever know they mess up. They're mad at themselves more than you can ever be mad at them for. And so like take that into account before you go comment some BS. If you're going to comment anything, maybe you'll comment something positive, be a little difference maker instead of being the average person that goes and comments something hateful on them.
Amen to that, and I think too for A&M a big future. Obviously, Auburn coming up in a couple of weeks, I think will be a big test for them. I'm curious to see how they are, but that's honestly a team I like their swagger. So I think a team on the come up under Mike Elko for certain.